This particular gentleman was very, very close, many people say, to inside the monarchy. A close friend of the late and beautiful Princess Diana, a confidant of the now King, King Charles III, but he was a man that really ruled the BBC. And a lot of people, attack him, but the bottom line was this. Many people inside the BBC that are still there today knew exactly what was going on with Sir Jimmy Savile. But of course, choose not to speak out or indeed help those that could have needed it. The bottom line is now this BBC documentary, which is coming up next week, will feature a very brief meeting with His Majesty the King. And more importantly, this is some sort of bad PR that His Majesty could simply quite now do without. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you as ever. Yeah, this particular documentary has been made now for over a year, and it is the life story told from a perspective of all of the statements regarding the victims with Sir Jimmy Savile. And what's interesting about this is the actor Steve Coogan takes the lead role. Now, as we know, Mr. Coogan has passed form recently, of course, trying to get political by suggesting tactical voting at the Liberal Democrats conference. The bottom line is it's so badly attended and it's such a bad noticeable party that really that never got picked up in the media. This will though. And of course, as we know, Jimmy Savile had a very, very close connection with certain members of the British monarchy. The Queen very wisely kept away. What an incredible woman to be able to pick up on that. She clearly knew what it was about. And according to a very well-placed source, advised her son, Charles, and of course Princess Diana into the bargain to keep your distance. But Jimmy was a very clever manipulator. There's no two ways about it. He knew how to ingratiate himself into certain situations. As I say, there's only a very brief scene left in this BBC drama, and one might suspect that this is so they don't offend, once again, King Charles and Queen Camilla. But either way, it could have simply been taken out, and it is truly bad form. Another story that I can share with you is this. When you think about someone's wonderful life story, can there be anything more enthralling than our late and wonderful Queen Elizabeth? She met everybody, lived through so much, was a trailblazer, and didn't do it by shouting out from the rooftops, all that sort of stuff. She simply got on with it. 70 years on the throne, and as I say, would have a wonderful story to tell. According to a very close palace courtier, apparently though, we could wait some time for the definitive biography of Queen Elizabeth II. This is because the definitive biography would have to be authorised by His Majesty the King. Now, there's two reasons around that, I would suggest. Obviously, he's still very much hurting at her demise. I mean, we suddenly expect them to bounce back, but as we know, Queen Camilla and the Duchess of Edinburgh, Sophie, are very much taking it difficultly, as one can imagine, with the passing. Catherine herself recently told someone that she just has moments where she's going to pick up the phone and realizes she can't. We all have them. It affects every single one of us throughout our lives. But if we're looking forward to that definitive biography, then it's going to be some time for the official one, because that well-placed source says that His Majesty the King doesn't really want to bring up all the negative sides of the story, and no doubt have his name brought up in such negativity too. So this could be at least 10 to 15 years down the line where full access to the late Queen's papers, thoughts, notes, telegrams, that sort of stuff could be given access to give us the full account of her reign of 70 years. As ever, these are developing stories. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.